It's now 7:04, and we will start the meeting of the Lakeville Parks Commission, July 28th, 2022. In accordance with the provisions allowed by Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, the July 28th, 2022 public meeting of the Lakeville Parks Commission will be held remotely. However, to view this meeting in process, please go to facebook.com/LakeCAM. You do not need a Facebook account to view the meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at www.lakecam.tv. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We have no minutes to review, so we'll go right to number 2. And I'm going to welcome our 2 new members. We have Melissa Turcott. Hi, Melissa. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Great you could be here. And Michael Cassani. Hi, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
How are you?
Thanks for twisting my arm to be here.
You begged us.
Okay, we're going to get right into it here. Item number 3. We're going to review the fencing proposal on the backside of the gazebo, between the gazebo and the water. And here to enlighten us with the proposal is Mr. Ari Sky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're very excited to bring this to you today. We were approached by Boston Tavern regarding a situation that they've identified and something that we've heard about for some time now, which is along the ridge behind the Loon Pond Lodge. There's a bit of an unsafe condition down that hill and in the pathway going down to the water. The pathway itself isn't really rebuildable, except for maybe excessive cost. There's an old amphitheater there left over from, I guess, the old camp days. But the ridge itself can be protected, and I understand some other issues with some stones and things too. If it's okay with you, Mr. Chairman, I have a picture of what we're talking about in terms of a diagram here. That's all right? Can I share that?
Great,
all right?
Please do.
Okay, here we go. So this, very high-tech sketch here shows you what the layout will look. Where we're doing is about 260 feet worth of distance here in the fence, and you see it goes along the upper part of that ridge back to where the water is, which my cursor is right here, where the beach is, and around there. There'll be a gate above those steps. They'll say no authorized personnel only or something like that. The Boston Tavern has very graciously offered to pay 50% of the cost. We want to keep the enterprise fund for park purposes and recreation purposes. So the general fund, the facilities budget, will handle the rest of the cost. It's about $4,900 altogether. It's about $2,500, a little less than $2,500 for each, for us and for Boston Tavern. As I shared this with the chairman, what was it, about a week and a half ago?
Yes.
We came to agreement on this with Boston Tavern, and he thought it'd be a good idea to bring it forward to you guys. I don't know that necessarily there's approval required for the Parks Commission for this, since it really doesn't affect any of the recreational areas, but we certainly would welcome it. And if you have any questions, we'd love to hear them.
I have a question. Those stairs, that's where they come up for the triathlon. They come up those stairs when they come from the swim.
I thought, okay.
They start over at the boat launch, and they come up those stairs.
Right. So there's going to be a gate there. Okay. So, if we have a certain period where there are people who have signed appropriate waivers and so on, we'll have a gate there. What we're really concerned about more than anything else and it's going to be a split rail fence, by the way. We're not talking about a high fence that's going to block the sight lines or anything. What we're most concerned about were situations where we have guests at the tavern at Loon Pond Lodge having a good time, and want to give us sort of a buffer there so people don't go into a dangerous situation. And also, there've been occasionally what would happen is that we'd have people want to get pictures, and they kind of work their way down there to the bottom of the beach and take pictures. And it's not a very safe place for someone in heels to be going down there with the wrong kind of shoes or that sort of thing. It's certainly not someone who isn't athletic at all. So we were just trying to have some safety there.
Yeah, those stairs aren't the best, especially if you're in high heels.
No, I've never tried that myself, but but I can.
Well, I can't say I have, but even in sneakers, they're you know.
It's true. I've gone down there, a number of times, and just regular shoes. It's very uneven. It certainly isn't ADA accessible in any way, shape, or form. So yeah.
I do have two other questions. Where they've cut down all the brush and things so you get the better view of the water, are they still going to be able to do that? Because that adds value there.
Can barely
hear you,
Mike.
Affect that at all. There's been some, DPW does
where the red line is.
Pull back extra brush back there in a very. Sorry.
Yeah, where the red line is. Let me turn on the speaker. Is that any better?
I can hear you. Okay.
Where that red line is, they've cut all the brush below that, and it makes for a better sight line into the water.
Yeah.
They're going to still be able to do that.
Oh yeah, it doesn't affect that at all. It's just a split rail fence.
All right, and then being that it's a split rail fence, right behind the gazebo, if anybody sits on that rail and falls backwards, it's a much more, it's a much longer fall than the 3 feet on a split rail fence. It'll be down that rock wall.
It would be very bad. Yeah. I mean, you're kind of 6 months does the other. If you don't have a fence there, someone can fall down there. And the fence at least provides a barrier, and we'll have some signs without being. We don't want to make it too obnoxious, but we'll have signs appropriately placed to make it clear that people should not be on the fence or the barrier.
Yeah, for their safety anyhow. So that goes down past the fire pit, almost to the almost down to the boat launch.
Yeah, pretty much well down that ridge. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to place it because I'm looking at it, and where that red line ends is probably about where the fire pit is. So you're going to go a little further. Okay. Well, I mean it's basically where the grade is steepest along that area on the back. Yeah. Does anyone on the board have any other further questions for Mr. Sky?
Mr. Scott?
None being heard. I'd like to make it formal and just entertain a motion here by someone to accept this proposal.
I motion to accept this proposal.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion? None being heard. We'll have a roll call vote. Mike Smith, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mike Cassani, how do you vote?
Aye.
Paula, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Scott Holmes, aye. And unfortunately, Melissa, you can't vote yet until you get sworn in.
That's okay.
That's all right. So that's a unanimous vote. And thank you for bringing this to us. And thank you for the town and Boston Tavern picking up the cost.
Thanks for consideration. I really appreciate it. Have a good night.
Have a good vacation.
If there's anything we can do further, just let me know.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. Have a good night.
Bye.
Okay, on to number 4. Mr. Doug Berry's here. Doug, do you have an update for us?
Just on mute. Yep.
Whoop, we lost you. There you are.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a great summer down there. It's a lot of fun, and really thank you for letting me be able to come back and yeah. We are right now. I've met with a lot of the town administrators, and the town personnel have come down. We've gone over some things, and they're talking about some really good improvements to the park next year. As far as family passes, we're up to 92 Lakeville passes this year, which is pretty good. We're doing very well in our receipts. Our staff is doing fantastic. We have about 30 in swimming lessons.
Great.
We did have that one little incident a little bit this week, but besides that, everything's been going great. We had our treasure hunt 2 weeks ago on the Saturday. We had about 30 youngsters digging for buried treasure. Last week on Friday, we did our carnival. And,
how'd that go?
It went fantastic. Thanks to Grant's Rental, who donates the jumpy, and some of the other people in the town and so forth, but it went just as well as it's ever been in the past. But we had a lot of games. The staff was very, very good, and everybody seemed to like it very good. This week coming up on Sunday, we have Crazy Harry DJ playing from 1 to 4, and we already have a lot of people that are going to be coming. Our crowds have been steady right through the weekend, and right through the week. And on the weekend, we've had some pretty good crowds in there, especially the 95 to 100 degree temperatures have helped out tremendously. We've only had just a couple of days where we just we closed around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock because we had no patrons left, and we did have the threat of rain. But besides that, we've been hoping, I think, every day except for one day way back in June.
Great. Just putting that in my calendar. 1 o'clock this Sunday?
1 o'clock this Sunday.
Great. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Berry?
Doug, when I went down to look at the lock on the snack shack there, what did you replace that with? Did you put a bigger latch on it, or?
No, what I did was we're in the process of trying to figure out. What I did is before the screws were exposed.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I took the existing one that we had, took some parts out of the back tool shed, and I flipped it around so that the screws are now concealed. And the lock is now in a position where I think what happened was when the incident happened last year, I think they put them right back in the same holes because the holes were up above, and it made it very easier for them to just push in the door because they had nothing to do with the lock itself except for the screws. So I think it says, but we still have to come up with a more permanent type solution. I am in contact with the police department, and we were in contact with the Sheriff's Department, the Plymouth County Sheriff's Department, and we're doing some further follow-ups with those, and also for a heightened security system to be put in there.
Did you and Paula come up with another cash procedure, or what? Did we change anything? Or
yes, we did. We now take the cash registers. We take all the money out of the cash registers. We put the cash registers. We bring them into the bathhouse where it's better self-contained, and I think that was going. I wanted to keep those. It's when you unplug the cash registers every day. What happens before 10 o'clock? I have to go in and reprogram them each day because you're even though it's on battery and so forth, I have to do that. So that's the only inconvenience to doing that. But that's a much better, safer. No one's going to ever be able to get into the bathhouse, and that's for sure.
Okay, sounds good.
Anyone else? Okay. Oh, what? Paula, do you want to say something?
Her audio's
Can
horrible.
you hear me?
Go ahead.
Oh, gosh. Any problems with the water testing so far?
Nope, we get it tested. We're going to get them tested this week, and the water's been clean as a whistle. It's still less than 10 parts per million of telephone power, and that is we get it as we do. We get it tested every week, and they everything's been testing out fine. I get the results. I post them in the process. I have them in the office as well as I post them on the info board going into the entrance to the park.
That's great. Must be the new sand.
Yeah. Yep. Keeping it clean.
Okay.
Okay, I probably should have backed up on this, but Melissa and Mike, this is Doug Berry. He's our director over at Clear Pond. I apologize for not introducing him sooner.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome.
Knowing you for years, Doug.
Look forward to a good time.
Thank you for what you do over there.
You're very, very welcome.
You guys get one free pass. So just you know.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody else have any other comments or questions for Mr. Berry?
Good job, Doug.
No. He's
Okay.
doing a great job.
What, Paula?
I said he's doing a great job.
Okay, great. I'm sorry. You broke up halfway through. Yep. No, I think he's doing a good job. Doug, thank you for coming on tonight. We'll let you go, and we'll go on with the meeting unless you want to stick around.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Okay, did everybody get a copy of the town planner's preliminary report?
Yeah.
I know I had sent them out. I'm not sure if I sent them to everybody.
No, I didn't get one.
Okay, Michael and Melissa, I will send it to you probably tomorrow morning, but I'll try to do it after the meeting if I can log into my work email. I apologize. It's just a draft. He's gone through all the parks and he's listing them and what's in them. And I had asked everybody just kind of to review it. There are a couple of changes we have to make to it. On the first page, he says 16 horseshoe courts. We have 20. We have 4 soccer fields, not 3. I don't know if anybody else saw anything else in there that needed to be updated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I told you yesterday,
Yes,
I met with.
Right, hold on, Paula.
I met with the town planner yesterday, and I said that we were going to discuss it, but I brought up the idea that, and he offered to do it, is that we take a tour of the parks with him and go over his plan so he can make the changes and we can say, I think we should do this and this. So he's very amenable to taking a trip with us and go to each park and do it. So I hope that's something that you will consider.
What we'll do is we'll set up a date, and those that can make it will go. And if you can't make it, we'll give you the particulars of the meeting, and you can stroll through either of the parks at your leisure, and you can come up with any questions, and we can go over them if you can't happen to make the meeting with the town planner. But like, he couldn't be here tonight if he wanted to, because he's part of the other boards that they were talking about that are having a meeting going on. And that usually happens on a Thursday. So, Paula, did you see anything else in there that definitely needed?
Yes, I have. Yeah, one of the, you talking about motorized boats prohibited from Loon Pond. I informed him that boats are going on Loon Pond, but they cannot be gas boats. Is that correct?
Gas motor, no. You're correct.
Can you hear me?
Electric is okay.
Right. I had to, so he would fill that in. He talked about Clear Pond, and there are a couple of things. My suggestion was outside shower and cornhole. He's adding to the plan.
For Clear Pond?
Yeah, there's no outdoor shower.
Yeah,
so he's adding
that's a good one. There should be one.
And a cornhole too. That's a new sport that is taking over even horseshoes, I guess.
I just saw there was a $100,000 prize tournament the other night on TV.
Oh yeah,
for cornhole. Yeah, I watched a girl make 16 in a row.
For cornhole?
Yeah, for cornhole.
Yeah.
The on Clear Pond.
So those are 2 additions.
Hold on, Paula. Go ahead, Mike.
And on Loon Pond, there's no signage that says you can't have a powered boat on there. And I walk there twice a day, and I've seen at least 5 powered boats on there this year.
Really?
So maybe just some signage down at where they push them in.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We're working on signs now, Mike, so maybe we can do that together.
Okay.
Paula, did you see anything else that you wanted to add or take away?
No, I think we discussed a few things, and we have some different thoughts about where the beach volleyball will go, but we can review that when we take a trip around the park. And that we have money for the parking lot. So that, he was talking about a bigger plan down the road. And we have a plan, and that we had the money which was given to us from that group of people that bring marijuana money back to the town.
Yep.
So I said that I was going forward in the fall with what we had planned, and if he needed to make additions in the future, you know, like he wanted to do a bigger plan, I suppose we didn't have.
Lost you.
Oh, geez. The temporary fix is going to be the asphalt and the skimming of it. And he's talking about a bigger plan for the parking lot. And I said we had already been approved for our plan, which was the parking lot, and we were allotted the money from that special committee.
Right, that's not going to go too far.
Yeah.
It'll be enough to cover it so that we can get the drive around filled in, and you know, keep cars from getting stuck in the mud. But I'm sure that he has a bigger plan in the future, but that's not having anything to do with what we are planning now in the fall.
Paula?
I don't want to lose the money.
Paula?
Yeah.
Why aren't we considering the spring to do that, so that parking lot doesn't have to go through the tough winter and mud and that, so it's a lot fresher in the spring?
Because it's not going to be driven over in the fall, and the opportunity and the donation I'm getting for doing this is you have to strike while the iron's hot. Okay, Mike?
Okay, no, that's fine. I was just asking.
Yeah, that's you know, I don't want to lose what's been offered to us. And if that can be done in the late fall and nobody's driving on it, it should be okay for the spring.
Thank you.
And he doesn't know, yeah, he doesn't know when these other plans are going to go through. He couldn't he couldn't give me a date. And if, you know, it's a plan, it's going to happen. So,
Losing you, Paula.
He emphasized that this is a plan. So with the plan, we don't know that's going to happen or when it's going to happen. So we want to take the opportunity to fix this parking lot in the fall.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
I know I'm cutting out, but I'm sorry. I'm losing good communication here.
Mr. Chairman, through
Yes.
you, Paula, I've shut off your video, and that may improve your audio. Thank you.
Okay, again.
Get me back?
I'm sorry, what, Paula?
I'm trying to ask LakeCAM to get me back. I was seeing everybody, and then everybody disappeared, and now the voice is going away, and I don't know why this is happening, because it was fine when it came on.
We can hear you better though, Paula.
Paula,
Yeah.
are you using a cell signal on your cell phone for this connection?
I am using something from the library. It's called a hotspot.
That's still using a cell signal. So that's the issue. So
What do you want?
Again,
You want me to shut it off?
no, it's the same. You're going to get the same signal as you would with your phone. It doesn't make a difference. Although your phone may actually be more efficient skipping the hotspot. Again,
I'll give it a try.
Okay, thank you.
Or even calling in on your phone.
Or just calling in on your phone with the voice connection. That's the other option. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Hey, Scott, can we put Paula's phone on the agenda every week just so we know it's going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, Mike and Melissa, I apologize for not having this to you. I will send it either after the meeting or in the morning. And then you can peruse through it. It's a couple pages. And if there's anything in there that you see that needs to be corrected or updated, you can just forward it to me, and then we'll accumulate all these. I've been writing down all these things. Thank you, Mike.
Sorry.
And we'll get him to the town planner so that he has correct information in his report. That being said, moving on. We had a request. Is Paula here, or is she in the process of trying to get back?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Hi, Paula.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. The Special Olympics request, right?
Yes.
I contacted him, and I asked him to send us a plan, like everybody does, and then I would give it to everybody, and you could put it on the agenda and move forward. I have not received that plan at this time. Okay.
Well, I have it on the agenda. I know we don't have a specific plan, but it is a polar plunge, which is pretty much going to be going into the water and getting out of the water. We'll just have to make sure that he follows all the town regulations as far as they probably should have a lifeguard there or someone certified. But
Scott, when's the date?
They don't know yet. Late in 2022 or early 2023. He hasn't been contacted from the Mass Special Olympics. They're just organizing the event now.
Okay, so the biggest, can I ask a question? I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
So the biggest question, of course, is going to be if the weather is bad with parking and there's snowbanks and there's all of that, we have to clear access to get in there. And where's the extra parking going to go? But do you understand my point here? If it's December and there's 20 inches of snow, 15 inches of snow, and there's no access to get in there?
They're not going to do it.
Okay, I just want to make sure that they don't expect us to clear all that out.
I mean, we'll do the best we can, and we'll ask Franklin to do the best he can. But, I don't expect him to plow the whole parking lot with 20 inches of snow just for this.
Okay, sounds good.
Does anybody else have any comments they want to make?
Oh, we'll wait to hear from him, and I'm sure that if he's done this before, Scott, that's an alternative plan, right?
Yeah,
yeah, he's done it before.
Yes, they have, and there was no problem.
Okay.
So, what's that?
We'll to hear from him, right?
Yes, we're going to wait to hear from him to get a. But I'd like to get a tentative okay from the group. I'd like to take a vote on allowing them to do it. We just need more information as far as a date and what have you. But I'd like to get a vote so that we can let him know it's okay that, or not okay, whichever we vote, to go ahead and just get us the information of the date, because we're going to have to go down there and unlock the gate. So I'd like to entertain a motion to allow them to do it pending the date and the rest of the information.
I second that motion.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, Scott, is Loon Pond an alternate if something goes with things like that? If because there's a lot more area to park, there's a lot more area to if there is snow to clean it, a lot easier than doing Clear Pond.
There is, Mike, but I would not ask anyone to step foot onto that area where everyone fishes.
Okay.
I've fished and looked down and seen bare hooks, you know, in 6 inches of water. I won't even let my dog go in there.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid someone's going to get snagged.
Not a problem, just a thought.
No, it is a thought, and I agree with you. The only other thing would be to have them go down to the beach area, but they'd have to walk down. And I mean, it's a possibility. And we can discuss that with them. I think they just think of Clear Pond because they see it.
Right.
Right.
You know, it's there wide open. Okay, any further discussion? None being heard, we'll have a roll call vote to allow them to have their Special Olympics polar plunge pending more information, mainly a date and a backup date and any other information that we request. Michael, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mike Cassani, how do you vote?
Aye.
Paula, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye, and Scott Holmes, aye. Unfortunately, Melissa, you can't vote. So that's unanimous. We'll just, I don't know, Paula, do you want to stay in touch with them and say that, you know, we've okayed it, but we just need, you know, the date and the rest of the information?
Sure.
Okay, great.
I'll give them. Okay.
Great, thank you. We've already made the initial contact with him.
Okay, and will he contact you for an invitation?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you.
Okay, and invite him to the next meeting, correct?
I wasn't gonna, but we can.
Oh, okay. I thought that was your intention.
No, I just want to get the rest of the information.
Yeah. You're right. So I was thinking, since he didn't have a plan, you wanted him to come. So if we had any questions on that, I didn't know exactly what the plan was moving forward, to bring him in or not.
I can't imagine he'll have the information in 2 weeks.
No.
He might. He's done it before. He probably has a whole plan. He just doesn't have anything in writing.
Well, you know what? We'll just leave it up to him. If he's not ready till September, October, it really doesn't matter at this point.
But you can let him know that we have tentatively agreed to allow them to do it. We just need more information, mainly the date and what else they're going to do. You know, is there going to be a lifeguard on duty? What?
Yeah, I had actually.
I was going to say an ambulance or a firefighter, probably.
Got that right.
Right.
I'd have a heart attack jumping in there.
Yeah, I had.
Mike, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
All right, one at a time here. One at a time. Go ahead, Paula.
I had already emailed him and asked for that information. So I was hoping he was going to send it. But he knows that because I have emailed that, you know, in terms of EMTs, fire department, or police, etc. But since he's done it in the past, I would hope that he will continue. And when I talk to him, or email him, I'll make sure that he's got everything lined up, and that I don't know if it's something we need to review and read, Scott, or how we move forward with. I know that in the past we've asked people to tell us, you know, what are they doing to cover this event, and generally they tell us. So I don't know if a verbal is good enough, or if you need something in writing, or that's why I said, does he need to appear? So I need everybody's opinion on that.
Didn't you ask him for a plan?
I did, and I didn't get it.
Oh, okay. We haven't got it yet, but I mean, that doesn't mean he's not formulating it. I would imagine he's going to give you something in writing.
Okay. Well, when I contact him again, I'll see what he's done. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you can give them the option of putting it in writing or coming to a meeting.
That makes.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We've got some lodge information. I don't believe Michael and Melissa have that. No, so I'm going to table this one until the next meeting so I can provide them with the information. What it is a summary of the deposits for this fiscal year from June 1st, I believe. Oh, where's my date on this?
It's May 4th.
April 1st. But anyhow, I'm going to get you the information so that you can review it. And then if you have any questions, we can discuss it at the next meeting.
Scott?
Yes, sir.
Maybe there's two things we can find out before we have the meeting. Is that possible?
What's that?
One is the utility payments. Why are they the same every month?
Whose utility payments?
Boston Tavern gives us money for utilities, but it's the same one every month.
I believe that was the agreement they had with Town Hall.
Just no matter what, if it's $1,000, they still pay us $379.
Mike, again,
I'm just questioning.
I know you're questioning, and I don't have the answer because I had nothing to do with it.
All right, so I have a copy of the agreement, so I should just look in there.
Okay.
And then weren't we going to bring up something about the septic, or is that another thing?
What septic?
The bill for the septic.
That's taken care of.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Bringing up the next item, there was a gentleman that inquired about metal detecting on town property. Not only did they contact us, but they also contacted Town Hall. And I asked their take on it. And they said that they were a little concerned that someone might be, taking the metal detector and going around and digging things up, especially at Ted Williams Camp, where we have water lines and we have, Verizon lines and all kinds of things in the ground that it probably wouldn't be a good idea. I'm going to put it up for discussion amongst the rest of you. And I'm going to do this one at a time so that we don't talk over each other. Michael Smith, do you have any comment?
Yeah, I agree that there's just too much liability there. Like you said, with the lines, irrigation lines, who knows? And we don't want someone digging up, because if he does find something, he'll get a shovel, and there's so much property there that, and if he finds it, he's finding it on town property. So to me, it's just, it's not worth it.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts.
Okay. Mike Cassani, any thoughts by you?
I agree. The question is, how do you keep them from doing it? Because anybody could walk out on a Tuesday afternoon and start walking around with one.
Right. But I mean, we can, as a town group, and maybe what I'll have the Town Hall do is tell them that they'd prefer he doesn't do it. So it's coming from them and not just from us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it'd be too disruptive, too dangerous. And truthfully, anything he finds would rightfully belong to the state, the town anyway. Correct.
Melissa, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea either, because forget the water lines and the stuff. If he digs up a hole and a dog trips in it or a kid runs by and trips in it, then there's an injury besides.
Right.
Yep. Good thought.
Right. Paula, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I referred him to Town Hall, and Town Hall answered me back and said there is no digging on town property. So
okay.
That being said, I think everybody has to find the problem, and if you invite one, you're going to allow one, everybody can be there, and then what happens. So I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We have a request from the Arts Council. Let me see. Okay. In the past, this is the Arts Council that has the event out between the library and the church and down there in Dickren Square. They have the little festival there. In the past, we have loaned them 3 picnic tables. Well, all right, I'm going to say some picnic tables and some trash receptacles, of which the highway department moved over there, and then they brought them back to us. And that is just my concern, because the fall is very busy with activities at the camp, that that we do get those things back in a rather quick time, which we have in the past. There hasn't been a problem. And I do appreciate that them contacting us and putting their request in writing for us to discuss. They would arrange to gather them on Thursday or Friday, the 29th or 30th, and then return them on Monday, October 3rd. So they'll be gone for the weekend over there, being used for the council. I'm going to keep this in order here. Michael Smith, do you have any comments?
Nope.
Mike Cassani, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Melissa, do you have any comments?
Oh, as long as there's been no problems in the past, that's fine.
Yep. Paula Hool, any comments?
As long as they bring everything back, I think it's here to share.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to ask for a motion to allow them to do that. We'll make this formal. I'll make a motion to allow the Arts Council to borrow 3 picnic tables and 5 trash receptacles for the weekend from the 29th to October 3rd.
I second the motion.
That being seconded, any further discussion? None being heard, we'll have a roll call vote. Michael Smith, how do you vote?
Aye.
Michael Cassani, how do you vote?
Aye.
Paula Hool, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye, and Scott Holmes, aye. All right, great. I will contact her and tell her that that's okay, and that the highway department will take care of it. Probably the guys working for us down there. Okay, great. Metal detecting, Arts Council. Okay. Old business. Co-ed volleyball, I guess we tracked down the payment that they have paid.
Everything's all set, Scott.
Okay, good. We can take that off. Finally. Still no contact about the sign. The playground sign.
Yeah, I'm doing that now that I'm done with the tennis court. So that's my next step. That and the playground.
Okay, so that's Tim Delarocco.
Yes, I got his number.
Okay. Anything new on, well, capital improvements, we'll get to that. Tennis resurfacing?
Yep, I'm done with that. And I talked to Ari. He wants me to bring it to Frank first to take a look at it to make sure the specs are being met.
Okay, do you think you could send the board members a copy so we can look at it also?
Sure. I'm just, there's only 2 because 2 other places didn't want to do it.
Yep.
The person who gave me the one last year called me yesterday, and he's not going to meet the price, but he's going to send it to me anyway. And then the person who has the lowest price, I did a reference check. So as soon as I get that other one, I'm just going to send it right off to you.
Okay, that'd be great. That way the rest of the board can take a look at it, and if they have any questions, we can go from there. I'm gonna forward this one to Paula because she's been on top of this one. It appears the Ted Williams hat has been found.
Yes.
And repaired.
Okay, just an update on that. We got it back from Dave's Auto, who painted it, and that was a donation again, no charge. What's his name? John Miranda has it as his house, okay? Because he couldn't fit it anywhere. So what I'm going to ask Scott is to go from here to connect with the carpenter volunteering to put it up. I need you to, I know that you would like to put this in a certain place. So I will email you his phone number if I haven't already, and ask that you contact him. You set up your time where, or you can send pictures if you're not in town and show him where to put it up. And we'll get John to bring it back to the park, and you pick the time, the day, and where you want it, okay?
Yeah, and I happened to see John 2 days ago, and he told me the same thing. He's got it at his house, and that if this guy can't do it, he has a couple of carpenters that take classes with him, and he said they'd be glad to help out.
Yeah, well, this I think you probably are familiar with the Lions Club, and this fellow is very involved, and he willingly helps.
Oh, okay. I think I know who you mean. Mark.
Yeah.
Mark. Yeah.
He said gives a number if he wants to send a picture where he wants it, or he can. You two can discuss where. Okay. However you want to do it. If you wouldn't mind taking it from there.
Yep. No, we'll do on that. My thoughts were seeing how they don't want it on the lodge anymore.
Right.
That we could put it on our office building. And my thought was, obviously we can't put it over our door because of the overhang, but was to put it maybe on the right side of the building, which you see coming in from Bedford Street. We have a couple of windows and a fairly big area up there where they could attach it, unless someone has a better location.
You're talking about
I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to everybody on the board.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying you're talking about this door at the office.
The office to the right-hand side.
Okay, that's the one with the little steps, right?
But I don't think it'll fit over the door. So maybe we could center it in the middle of the building, and it would be over the two windows.
Over the paint.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and kind of go with whatever the carpenters think is the best location there. So what I'm asking is the rest of the board, the next time you go into the camp, just take a look at that right side of that building, unless someone has a better location that they want to put it. I mean, I'm up for discussion on that.
Shame you can't make it an arch.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I think it would look nice over the door if you could fit it, with the side door. But again, you may have to make some adjustments. It's just a thought. I thought it would look I just thought it would look good there. But again, if it doesn't fit,
that's my concern. Yeah, I mean, if they can get it to fit, then great. We'll go for it.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
I think it would be a nice attraction.
Yep. Next thing we have for old business is the haunted house. This has kind of been just laying here. I did put some feelers out with some of our selectmen, and Leah talked to the police chief. I guess there were multiple arrests last time it was run. Leah didn't really have a feeling one way or the other, but she does know that some of the other selectmen probably wouldn't be for it.
Ari knows the gentleman, Scott.
Oh yeah, that's who I wanted to talk to was Ari.
Yeah, he knows the gentleman.
So I want to talk to him and see what his thoughts are on these individuals. Just to bring Mike and Melissa up to speed, there's a group that wants to revive the haunted house into a haunted field or meadow, and locate it down across from the waterfront in that big open field, and do a haunted house there, and be open 3 nights a week. if we're going to allow them to do it, we've got to let them do it soon because they've got to make props and do things.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody, Mike or Paula, do you have the proposal from the gentleman? I'll look to see.
I do. Yes.
If you could send it to me, that way I can get a copy to Mike and Melissa so they can understand a little background of what's going on. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to do a little background checks here and see how the other departments feel in town, police, fire, selectmen. I mean, my feeling is, we need 100% participation or this isn't going to fly. And if, the fire department and the police department aren't up for it and the selectmen aren't for it, then I don't want to fight an uphill battle.
No.
Scott?
And we have issues where I know that there's going to be things going on at the lodge. So we've got to figure out logistics of getting the people from the parking lot down there and causing as little intrusion to the patrons at the lodge as possible. So our feeling was to have them park over near the soccer field, near the police station. But then we've got to get them down past Horseshoes and down that back road.
And you got to think about handicap spaces.
There's a lot of logistical issues.
Yeah. That's a tough spot to have it because they've got to get out through the woods, through that trail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're going to need transportation to get people down there.
Yes. Melissa, go ahead. Melissa, you had your hand up.
You said they've done this before because there were arrests last time?
Well, the last time we had the haunted house, which was going back about, I want to say 2018, I think was the last year we had the haunted house. And it was a very troublesome year. Not to say that this group is going to be, that's going to happen, but it was the patrons who came were causing a lot of problems.
Right. So this is this group's first time.
Yes.
Okay.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here, right. They've done some other things other places.
Scott?
Yes. I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead.
That's okay. So I think we're past the point here. I mean, it's August 1st. This thing should already be done, decided, maps done, met with public safety. It's going to take them 45 days at least to get that up and running, cleared, and to build everything. So to me, it's a moot point. It's August 1st. They haven't even reached out to us. I'm sorry. Unless we give them a deadline to have everything done by August 15th, then I think we just vote no instead of just bringing it up all the time, because it's past the point.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can do that. I mean, if that's what the board wants to do, if the board wants to take a vote one way or another, let's go for it. I mean, I just keep bringing it up because nothing's being done either way. Nothing's being done on our part, but nothing's being done on their part either. So
make a motion that we vote on accepting a proposal.
Scott.
Hold on, Paula.
Hold on, Paula.
Scott.
Yep, I got you, Paula. Go ahead, Michael.
So, I don't know all the ins and outs of doing this, but I make a motion that we have a vote now on whether to continue to consider it or not.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion on that?
No, Scott, I just wanted to say that if they haven't reached out to us by now,
right,
I don't think that we need to contact them. If they had interest, they would have come back to us, and they didn't.
Yep.
So I think it's a moot point.
Yep.
But
we're going to make it official one way or the other.
I don't think we need to set a date to hear from them because they have not made the effort to come back to us, and they were all gung-ho. So.
We're not going to. We have a motion on the table, and it's been seconded to vote on this proposition right here and now. So when you're finished with your discussion, we're going to vote on it.
I'm through. Go ahead.
Okay. Melissa, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Oh, I think you're good.
All right. Michael, are you all set?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion on the table to either move forward would be a yes vote, and to end this here and now would be a no vote. Okay, That's the motion on the floor. I've changed the wording a tad bit, but just to clarify it, one way or the other. Michael Smith.
No.
Mike Cassani.
No.
Paula Hool.
No.
I'm sorry?
She said no.
No, okay. Scott Holmes? No. So it's now a dead issue. I will try and find their email and send them an email and say, thank you, but no thank you. Okay, great. No, that's good. We're crossing off the old business. I like that. The next thing is we have some burned out lights on some of the fields. Some of the courts and fields. We have a light out down at John Pond. We have 3 lights out over here at the volleyball court. Mike Smith, the electrician has used the town's bucket truck to change bulbs before over at the tennis court and the basketball court. Those lights are not very high up.
Okay.
I know they won't be able to reach Vaughn Street or
Right.
the Little League field. We'll have to come up with some other arrangement to do that. I was talking with Nate. It's going to mean renting some type of a lull or bigger bucket truck, which is going to cost, hundreds of dollars for a day.
Yeah.
And the problem being, we don't even know what light bulbs they are.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to go up, come down with the light bulb, run out, buy them, and come back.
Well, we don't even hardly use them anymore up there.
Where?
So I think the ones that have to get done are the low hanging ones of the volleyball court. So
Volleyball and John Pond.
right.
John Pond can use a lot.
But there's only one out at John Pond. I was there last night.
Yeah. And they also have it reversed, one of the lights reversed. Instead of being on the field, it's on the parking lot.
Yes, and that's the way it was set up to be.
They asked me to change that.
Well, it's not going to happen. It was done that way to put light into the parking lot so people could see what was going on and what was happening in the parking lot.
Okay, that was what they requested. So I'm just conveying that. I don't know how it happened or if it's always been like that.
Always been like that.
They thought that, they thought that if it isn't on that third, out in that left field, that somebody's going to trip, fall, get hurt, that kind of thing. So I just needed to know more about it.
It's been like that for 40 years.
Wow. 40 years.
Dating yourself, Scott.
No, that was before I was born.
Don't laugh at his jokes.
You're only encouraging me. So I'm working with Nate on that, but I don't know. Maybe you can talk to Franklin and see if we can get we can borrow the bucket truck. Because first of all, we got to figure out what light bulbs they are. And the ones at the volleyball are those are low.
Okay, I will go down tomorrow night and take pictures.
Yep, there's the 2 in the back.
Yep.
And the one over in the right in the tree, which the tree has to be trimmed considerably.
Okay, I'll talk to Frank about that and Ryan, but I'll do that and then I'll talk to Frank about it and we'll see. We'll try to get it all done by the end of next week.
I mean, whatever we can. I mean, I'm not.
No, I have to put a date on it. Otherwise it won't get done.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. The line markers that we're going to put in front of the lodge. Mike,
yeah, I'm gonna send it to you tomorrow. The prices.
Okay. Just to give Michael and Melissa a little heads up, we have some golf course markers that we put around the lodge and in the circle there because people tend to like to drive all over the grass and in front of the horseshoes. And for some reason we're short. We seem to have had more, but because we put them all along in front of the lodge. And the main reason for putting them in front of the lodge is we have irrigation there. And when there's lots of people, they tend to park on the grass And if they're parking on the grass, they're just the residential heads and they're going to get snapped. So at our last meeting, we okayed up to $500 to get a box of these. They're not cheap. They're about $10 to $11 a piece, but enough and a few extras because they get bent and people drive over them. Even though they're there, they still drive over them. And some rope, and we're going to put them up because I know we got the triathlon coming up, so there'll be a lot of people here, a lot of people parking, a lot of people that aren't from the area, and we just don't want them parking on the grass. That would be a shame to start losing heads to just because someone's parked on the grass. But that's what that's about. And Mike was looking into getting that. The next issue is John Pond Park and Clear Pond Park demolition update. I talked with Nate. He was going to put bids out in September to take the building down at John Pond after the season ended. And Clear Pond Park, he threw out a couple of potential ideas. One would be getting a storage unit, rental unit, or just storing the stuff. Because what happens is when they take all the things off the raft and the grills and whatever, they store them down at that building way down the end. But it's, I don't know, 50, 60 years old that I know of. And it's just falling apart. So the town allotted $25,000 to take it down and put up a shed approximately the same size. And I believe it's like a 12 by 16 approximately. But, nothing's written in stone on that yet. There's a couple possibilities. One is putting the new shed next to the existing shed and then taking the existing shed down in the spring because they're 10 weeks out, approximately 10 weeks out. So they're not going to get this shed built before the end of the swimming season. So we're not going to be able to use it this year for storage. Nate said that he would be able to get his crew to move it over if they move it from the guard shack into the new shed, if they had someone who was willing to take it down this winter. So there's a lot of moving parts. Nothing's really written in stone. But I said to him, hey, you might as well talk to East Coast Shed and get us in line anyhow. If they're 10 weeks out, we just got to talk with Dougie and see what the best location would be, whether we put it right back where the old shed is or we move it slightly. So that's where that is. And I know Paul has been working with Dougie on that. And the other thing is in talking with Nate, we went over a couple of items, and one is work order procedures. We have a work order that has to be filled out because Nate organizes the town plumber, the town electrician, the town carpenter, if we have one. And we have to fill out a work order and it be signed by the department head and then sent over to Nate's department, the facilities department, to get some of that work done that isn't being done by Franklin and his guys because they're shorthanded. So the thing with that is work orders need to be voted on at a meeting and then filled out and signed by me, or in an emergency case, they would be signed by whoever's a liaison of that location. But I just wanted to, Nate was just wanting us to follow through like everyone else and do the right process, voting on something before we just send over the work orders to him. In our search for our clerk, Paula, do you have something you want to add?
No, I actually had, after we voted the last time on something, I did send a work order, unless Mike sent one too.
What was that?
And that That was on the ramp.
We never voted on a ramp, Paula.
Paul, the ramp's not going to happen this year.
We didn't vote on a ramp.
I think we took a vote that we wanted a ramp. I believe we did.
No, well, but my point was is that it can't happen this year.
All right, look, you both can't talk at the same time.
Nothing happens this year. Okay, and nothing happens this year, Mike. It's just a process. You do it and hope for the best, okay?
Okay, just that there's no money in it now, so they have to do a grant and they have to do it. So we can do that.
Yeah.
Just let you know, it won't happen this year. I've already talked to the selectmen. I've talked to Ari. I've talked to all of them.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I've heard this for years. I understand.
I'm sorry.
Okay, in our search for a clerk, I believe we had 3 potential candidates, of which one stepped down. So there were 2 candidates left that were supposed to be interviewed today by John in HR. So hopefully we'll get some input from him tomorrow and we can move forward with that.
Scott, is John,
yes, sir.
Is John going to report everything to you?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Field hockey, Mike.
Yeah, so I called him and he called me back. It looks like he's getting more people and it's really taking off. He is practicing in the old T-ball field. So he's gonna call me back about extending to October, at which time I'll bring it up to you guys about how much we're gonna charge him for the fall. So
okay,
that's where it stands.
Okay. Good. Okay, next on the agenda, number 11, any new business for the commission?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mike.
I brought up about horseshoes, maybe wanted to do a tournament over Labor Day. And there's nothing on the calendar except I'm going to check out with Boston Tavern if there's any issues. And then I'll get the timing for when the tournament is, and then we'll take it from there and I'll have them put in a request and then we can do it.
Okay. Anybody else have any new business for the commission? Paula, is that you?
I thought I was going to bring it up under old business. I have a whole list of things that to follow up on.
Go ahead, go for it.
Okay. The dumpster at John Pond Park, we had an issue trying to get someone to take care of that. It did happen and they have a key. The name of the company is Waste. They took over Frades, okay? Just so everybody knows that. And we got it straightened. Today I met with people after many calls to many places, and somebody put me on the chase of a company in New Bedford. They're called Bass Ready Rooter. Okay, and it's in regards to the John Pond Park mobile trailer 3-unit bathroom, right?
Yes. Okay.
What the problem was that everybody I called would not service these emptying septic. I talked with these people. They sent somebody today. They looked over the system. They said they had a similar one in New Bedford. They're going to give me a price.
Yep.
Question to everybody. We don't really have a choice. There's nobody that wants to service this unit.
Who did it before?
But I don't know that.
Who did it 2 months ago? Paula? Paula, are you there?
We've lost Paula's audio.
Okay.
Can we vote on getting her a phone?
I just, can you hear me now? I can see you, but
Okay.
can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
So you'll have to start over again.
Okay. On the septic situation at John Pond Park, I could not get anybody to empty that unit's septic system.
Question for you, Paula. Who did it 2 months ago?
People that refused to do it again. That was Mr. Septic?
Mr. Cesspool?
Okay. I called them. Yeah. And I said, look, I'm looking at your invoice. You did this on May 16th. And they said, well, we're not doing that anymore on porta pots. So after much investigation and a help from somebody that referred me to this company, I went through a couple. It's called Bass Ready Rooter and Rental. And the woman said, I will ask the owner. They came down and they looked at the system. They are familiar with it because they have one in New Bedford.
Yep.
And the guy went all through it and explained a lot of things. I assume that the waste under the correct.
Say that again.
The waste is under the unit. It's not in the back of it. Under the bottom of that unit. Is that where the everything goes?
But you access it from the back. There's a port right in the back.
He was asking about where the tank was. He was asking me about the tank and I didn't know. But he did know. The bottom line is this. They can service it. They're familiar with it. And the question is, for me, I would like them to have it winterized too. Is this something that's reasonable to ask them to winterize it when they start giving a price?
Are we going to continue to use it in the fall? Are you talking about winterizing it now?
No, I'm talking about at the end of the season.
Okay. Yeah, no, that would be a good thing.
Okay, so if I get the price and I get the price for the servicing, winterizing, then I'll let everybody know. But
okay.
They definitely will get back to me, and they'll do it now and then at the end of the season. The other thing is, when I was down there, Scott, we tried to turn on the motor. You know how you have to prime it? You're checking everything. Somebody ran over the hose, and it's probably a lawnmower. So I need 70 feet of hose because they split it. Yeah, big hole in it. So we couldn't turn the water on. We were going to be checking the sinks. And I need to do that right away because if the teams are using it, and by the way, they were cleaned up, which made me happy. I guess they got the message. So where do I go to get the hose? Do you go to
I've got a hose in my girl.
Oh, Paula,
yeah.
I'm going to ask, is it a long hole or just a small hole?
It's a big hole.
All right. Well, we can buy one section of hose and splice the rest. I mean, that's not a big deal.
He said he can see where it was patched before. I forget what he called it. They put something around it, but this is bigger. So I had to measure it, and it was 70 feet. I think we need to replace it. But how do we keep them from running over it with a lawnmower?
I don't know. I don't know what to say, Paula.
I don't either. I mean, I hate to put this money and going through all this, and it's going to keep happening.
Yeah, let me get down there on Saturday morning and see if we can cut out a piece and only have to buy a shorter hose and not have to buy a whole 70-footer.
Scott,
Okay.
let me know when you're going. I've got a couple of extra hoses here. I'll just bring one down.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. And I got some repair splices. We might be able to get away with buying a 25-foot hose and not have to buy a 70-foot hose.
Yeah. So just tell me when you're going. I'll try and meet you there.
Yeah, I figure I'd try to get down there Saturday morning.
Okay. Just let me know.
Yep.
Hey, Scott,
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to Zach because he's the one who mows down there. I'll ask him what's happening. Okay.
John
Okay.
is coming out of his
Oh,
paycheck.
yeah, that would be great, Mike.
No problem.
Thank you.
Paula, do you have anything else?
Thank you, Mike. I have my minimal glass going up tomorrow. I hope to look at that unit where they broke the glass. It may as well look at it. And I think the other thing I wanted to talk about is cameras. We know what the issues are in the parks, and we need to address cameras, possibly because of the increase in vandalism. Just, in fact, anybody have any suggestions on that or what we can do about that?
First of all, we got to keep the cement blocks away.
Yes.
I took it. I didn't leave it there.
Oh, good. Yeah. But what about the parks?
About the what?
This is occurring in the parks. This vandalism is increasing, and we need to consider some kind of a camera system for the parks. I know it can't happen tomorrow, but it's something that we need to think about because we're having to replace a lot of things, and it's becoming an issue with safety, expense.
You're right. Well, someone needs to look into it. What the cost of cameras would be, what the cost of running them would be.
How about Mike Cassini? Is he adept at that? We'll break him in.
I second Mike Cassani does it. All voting? Aye. Thanks, Mike.
Someone's got to explain to me where we're talking about.
Probably right now, although it's probably not going to get done in time, but one place that we would need it would be Clear Pond. And right now, John Pond, because of the fact that so much of the time nobody is down there, that the kids kind of get into mischief.
Okay.
So maybe some motion activated or, and then we'll put up some signs, you're being videotaped.
They'll steal the cameras.
Yeah, well, we'll have to put them up on the poles somewhere.
It's sometimes just a deterrent too, but I mean, that you can hitch them right into your phone, and you check them and it'll show the activity. I'm not sophisticated. I do that at my own home, and I don't know if it's strong enough for. Well, it should be able to put them anywhere.
Yeah. It gets down to distance and lighting. So if they're doing it at night, there's no lighting, or if you're putting them on the top of a pole and it's 70 feet away, you're not going to really be able to see anything. So I'll look around.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can get some ideas or some potential costs.
Not in the budget.
Well, not in this budget.
Might be a way to get some donations or something. Let me look into it.
Okay, great. It's appreciated, Mike.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Anything else, Paula?
No, I think I've been running around the dumpsters and the septic systems all week. That's enough.
Well, thank you for your time and diligence in doing this.
Well, if you don't follow up, it doesn't get done, right?
How true. How true.
Yeah.
Moving forward, as far as correspondence, I've highlighted the 2 emails that came through. The phone messages was one, the guy regarding the metal detecting. The other one was Melissa McWilliams, which I believe Mike Smith talked to her about the pickleball.
Yeah, he's all set. And
another lady called about questions about the carnival at Clear Pond Park, but that's already come and gone. And the only other thing was Devaney was looking for the invoice for that water testing invoice, that original one. I don't know if you received it or not.
I thought we signed that.
But it's in the office.
Okay, great.
Signed it.
Yeah, we signed it.
Great. Lakeville Martial Arts paid up their rent. And then the other thing was the Special Olympics. So we've pretty much taken care of everything. Maybe a little late, but we have taken care of it.
Like I said, I don't know the protocols yet, but I'll learn them. But the Lakeville Martial Arts, the back of their facility is just trashed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With all the junk they leave around out back. Is there any way to?
I will ask him to clean up his area.
Okay.
So those were the phone calls, the emails. The clerk didn't have anything. Just to let you know, we have a temporary clerk who is just filling in. She's doing the bare minimum because she's also working for some of the other departments. And I believe we're losing her very shortly, but hopefully we can get something in the next week or so. Does anybody have any other business to come before the Parks Commission tonight before we adjourn?
Scott, just 2 things. Ari's going away for 2 weeks, so if you're going to try to get a hold of him, he won't be there.
When?
Starting tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, so I will call him tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he's got an appointment at 9 and through 11. So,
well, I'll just send him an email and he can respond to me.
Okay. And Michael and Melissa, Scott is the key master. So he will give you all the keys you need. He'll give you the orientation. He'll walk you through all the buildings. He's really good at that. So,
and Paula has spearheaded a little orientation packet for the 2 of you, kind of give you some highlights and lowlights of the Parks Commission and what we control. So definitely see Paula on that. And yeah, if you have any questions, at any time, don't hesitate to call, shoot me an email. We can go down to any one of the parks and go through them with you. Absolutely. You need to understand and know what happens and what we're in charge of. As we are the Parks Commission, but we do not control all the parks in town. Go figure. But anyhow.
Okay. That being said, Scott, if I would like to do what you did for me when I came on board, when Melissa gets back to town, I can take you on a tour of the parks and give you your orientation package. I don't know if Mike Cassini knows the parks at all. Maybe one of the guys can take him through, and I don't mind doing it. But when you get back, Melissa, contact me and I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be back on the 15th, so a couple weeks.
Okay. I'm happy to take you to the park, give you the packet, and I don't know. Does Mike Cassini already know his way around the park, all the parks?
He does, but it'd be good to give him a packet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anytime you want to, down there, or one of the guys, and they can show you around and give you a packet. They're in the office, right in the,
are they in the
side
office?
room.
Okay.
Yeah, you know the room beside Nelly's room?
Yeah.
You know, they're
Yep.
on the desk. Okay.
Okay.
So if you help Mike with that, that would be great.
And yeah, we can meet down there. I can get you. I'll make up a set of keys to the office and any other key that you'd like. We have plenty of them. We have one master lock that we're using. Back about 3 years ago, we took all the master locks, or most of them, off because for the last 25 years, all the employees that work there still had a key to all the locks. So, and they were getting pretty beat up after 25 years. So we bought a bunch of new locks 3 years ago and have been changing them out. So there's one, you'll see a green padlock. So we have one key. And Ryan and his coworker have a key, and Franklin has a key, and Nate has a key. And I'll gladly give you whatever keys you want. But obviously keys to the office and a padlock key. And if you want bathroom keys, you're welcome to them.
Some keys to John
So
That's what we have the fitness trails for.
Yeah, I can keep John Prawn. I go by there every day. So
Yeah. That's good. That's good that you travel by there, because it's just good to another set of eyes on it.
Yeah.
Scott, one more thing. I want to thank Mike and Melissa for joining, coming on board.
Absolutely.
I've known you guys for 20 years. You're great people, great parents, and I know we're going to benefit from having you on the board and keeping us accountable, because Scott and I really go off the rails. So, but really, thank you guys, and I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it too.
Great.
Okay, Melissa, and if you want to shadow any of us, at any time, because I don't know how we can.
Oh boy.
I will definitely get in touch with you, Paula, when I come back.
Okay.
Buddy system, and I'll show you what I do and try to keep you updated on as much as we can. And if you have any real questions, you got to talk to Scott. He's been around the longest.
Yeah, I'm the old fart.
Right, Scott?
Yeah. Okay, for our next meeting.
Yeah, but you
Go ahead, Scott.
Okay.
Our next meeting 2 weeks from now, the 11th. Or do you want to go to the 18th when Melissa will be back? Because I'd like to have an in-person meeting if you'd all like to do that.
I'm gone from
Yes.
the 13th to the 21st.
Oh, figures.
Well, you keep your meeting on the 11th, and I get off my cruise on the 11th, so I might be able to join in.
Okay. All right, so 2 weeks is the 11th. Is that good with everybody?
Works for me.
Good here.
7 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else?
Nope.
And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at
8:30.
8:32.
I second.
Any further discussion? None being heard. Michael Smith,
Aye.
vote to adjourn.
Aye.
Mike Cassani, vote to adjourn.
Aye.
Paula, vote to adjourn. I'll take that as a yes. And Scott Holmes, yes. The meeting is now over at 8:32. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Melissa, for coming. Mike Cassani, thank you very much, both of you.